Hi everyone, and welcome to the second video on Katie Does Classics and the first proper content video. So today I'm going to be talking about Cambridge colleges, how they work and how to go about choosing and selecting a Cambridge college to apply to. So Cambridge University is a collegiate university, which is the same as Oxford and Durham in the UK. Those are the three. And that means that the university is made up of different colleges. So there are 31 different colleges at Cambridge, and you can kind of think about these as halls of residence, but a bit more. So it's where you eat, live and socialise, but what makes it different to kind of a normal university is that they have their own kind of autonomous sets of rules and regulations at each college, and you don't apply to the University of Cambridge, you instead apply to a specific singular college. So this means that one of the main steps in the application process is deciding which of those 31 colleges you want to apply to. Now, just before I sort of discuss the process of choosing a college, I want to preface this and say that you can also make an open application, which means you can say, I don't mind which college I want to be assigned, but if you do choose a college, that means that you will do your interview at that college. And your college is not the be-all and end-all. Everyone always says wherever they end up, they love their colleges. And along the way, as part of the application process, your college might shift, you might get picked up by a different college. I can talk about the summer and winter pools in a bit more detail. But if your original college doesn't have room for you but thinks you're still a great candidate, you might end up in a different college. So, I guess I'm going to talk about now how to choose a Cambridge college, or at least how I went about choosing my college. So, one of the things to understand about the colleges is they are all very different, and they have a lot of different criteria that you can look at. So, when I was looking at Cambridge colleges, I wrote out a list of all 31 of them, and I looked and I made a list of the things that mattered to me in a college. So just a couple of ideas about things that you could have as criteria. You could have the size, you could have the architectural style, you could have what societies they have, you could have what the split of state school and private school intake is, or gender intake if you want, but I think most of the colleges are pretty good. So in terms of steps, I would first write down a list of the things that were important. So for me, that was being at a central college. Location is another one. I wanted a college that felt friendly, where I could get to know everyone, but not tiny, so kind of a medium to small size college. And I looked at the architecture, so I didn't want to be at anywhere that was too modern, because I really liked the kind of classical Cambridge look. So once you have your list of 31 colleges and you have your list of criteria, the first thing to do is to go through and cross out any of the colleges that aren't applicable to you. So some of the colleges are all female, some of the colleges are for mature or graduate students, so you can cross those off your list. And then you can go through and do some research online. There's lots of good websites, you know, the student room is there. I don't know how recently their lists have been updated, but you can go through and you can look at statistics and start to cross off Cambridge colleges based on the criteria that you care about. And it's likely not going to be the same criteria for everyone. For example, I knew that I wanted to be at a kind of a friendly and warm atmosphere, which was kind of hard to, you know, put on like criteria. But for example, when I looked, I saw that it was one of the first colleges, Sydney, Sussex, to fly the LGBT flag. So that kind of gave an indication to me that it would be more liberal, and that was somewhere I wanted to be. So you can go through your list, and eventually I got it down to around 5 to 7 colleges. And in a typical year, I would then suggest on the open day, you have a look around those colleges and you get a sense of what they're like, what they feel like. You know, you can look at the accommodation. One more thing to double check, there are in a few cases, I think education, I can't think of other subjects, that colleges may not offer subjects. So make sure to double check if your subject is offered, and then also if there is a professor or director of studies, it's called, so the person who will look after your academic life at Cambridge. You want to make sure that there is a director of studies for your subject at your college. Otherwise you end up kind of traipsing around Cambridge to different colleges. So those are the kind of main criteria, and then once you've got it down to 5 to 7, as I say, have a look around and you can kind of cross that off and get down to your final one. I will say, when you get down to the last 5, there's not much difference. I think there are about 5 colleges that I would have been happy to apply to and to be at. So it's good to be flexible and not to kind of have all your hopes pinned on a single college, in case, as I said, your college might need to change throughout the application process. So that's kind of how I went about choosing my college. So hopefully this is a helpful explanation for you. Let me know if you have any specific questions in the comments below about picking a college or about certain colleges, their reputations, that kind of thing. And, you know, subscribe, like, and let me know if there are any other video topics you want me to cover.